Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Indie Music Podcast by alexrainbirdMusic.
Alex and Beth are back.
Hi guys.
With another episode. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Also, we are filming this for our Patreon supporters as usual, so go to patreon.com. Yes,
waving at you.
Go to patreon.com/alexrainbirdmusic to watch us on video. And yeah,
I'm going to try not to freak out today as we welcome our next guest to podcast. He's inspired us in so many ways with his incredible, honest songwriting and dedication to music. It's actually our first time speaking to him on video call as well, so we're super excited about that. Please welcome Dylan Dunlap.
Hello.
Hey Dylan, how's everything with you?
Everything's great over here. How are the both of you?
Yeah,
We're
very
doing
good,
fantastic.
thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon. What time is it for you?
It is 4:17 p.m. so afternoon, and it's morning for you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm happy we can make it work.
Yeah, definitely. So for everybody listening, do you want to just sort of a brief introduction of you and your music?
Absolutely. I am 25 and I started at a very young age just playing piano in a talent show in second grade and realized that there was something different about hiding behind a piano that I couldn't really put my words to. And it was just the most therapeutic experience to be able to play an instrument and not feel the need to express myself verbally. And so my entire childhood, I just played music instrumentally. And a lot of it was to help my dad as a film composer. So I bought Pro Tools at a very young age and learned how to score short films and television shows. And it was a great way to bond with him. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have connected with him at that time. As an adult, I decided that I wanted to do music for myself and pursue and just figure out what that would look like. So I taught myself how to sing and play guitar on the street in Boston and Los Angeles, and really realized that I wanted to use music to just find a way to talk about all the things I've experienced in my life. So I guess that's what I do for a job now. And
that's so cool.
That's so cool, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Did you start in like a band, or did you like go straight to solo stuff straight away?
It's funny. I think it's swapped. I think I started alone. I spent my whole childhood just playing alone. And then now in my career, I'm basically a band disguised as an artist.
Yeah.
My best friends, Kirk and Ben and myself, we make all of my songs, and we're going to tour all of them together. And I just think it's a big family over here. I do believe in the family dynamic. And I owe that to probably not having such close relationships with my own family growing up. So I think that word can mean so much more than just a biological connection. Yeah. And I feel like I've mastered that with my two guys, and we're just happy to be here. I'm still trying to just get used to talking to you, like with our voices.
Yeah. Hi.
It's so weird.
I have so much gratitude for the two of you that I don't even know if I could really tell you until we're in person someday. And I just give you the biggest bear hug. And thank you for all the help you've given me.
Oh.
It's such a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. We've got to try not to like kind of fangirl, fanboy. You've always been such a big artist for us. So it's like, it's just so crazy that we're sat speaking to you now. That's kind of why I wanted to do the podcast as well. Because it was a way to actually like speak
to the artists that we love. Yeah.
It was a way to speak to Dylan Dunlap. So like, let's just do a podcast.
It's all an excuse to speak to you, yeah.
Oh man, I hope I don't let you down.
Nah, it's all good.
It's all fine. Yeah, so we first featured your music way back in December 2018 with your song Clockwise. That feels like
crazy
ages ago, doesn't it?
I feel so old when you say 2018.
So at what point, I guess, in your career was that back in December 2018? How was your music career back then?
That's a great question. I think 2018 was the planting of seeds of my career. I put out, you mentioned Clockwise. It's so funny. We have this inside joke in my group there. Everyone just hates Clockwise.
Oh no.
And internally, my producer has a hashtag kill Clockwise kind of mentality going. But it's funny because every once in a while that song will take off again on Spotify and it'll just make him so mad.
Yeah.
But Clockwise was put out because it was the only song I had to put out. So I had just released a song called Microphones and Lights, and I knew that I wanted to follow up about 4 or 5 months later in May of 2018 with something else that was a little bit more universally acceptable, like people can sing along as a choir and just sing along together, or something that you can be really drunk and sing in a bar together, like
nice.
Touch all the bases.
I see that.
and Clockwise kind of served as that. But it's crazy to look back, because now when it comes to choosing a song to essentially release, there are 30 or 40 contenders. And I'm just so grateful to have worked so hard since then and not have to put something out because it's the only thing I have to put out.
Yeah.
So I would say 2018 served as that for the songs that came out. The One Republic gig happened right after Clockwise came out, and it kind of just taught me that I should keep going, because there's something here. I didn't know what it was yet, but I could tell I needed to keep pushing forward.
That's awesome.
Also, I'm so sorry about my voice. I played a Vegas festival the other night and just trashed my voice.
We saw the photos. It looked like great fun. It looked really good.
Yeah.
It was nice to just be able to perform again.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you performed in Vegas. You said it's been a while. So how long has it been before then since you performed live?
You did one a few weeks ago, didn't you? In somewhere.
She's a super fan.
I'm a super fan.
A couple were sprinkled throughout 2020.
Yeah.
I like partnering up with that Lantern Festival. I was able to do one the other night in Vegas, and I will say I've always had this mentality to just play like it's my last gig ever. And for some reason the other night, I really was able to tap into that. I feel like I was the most grateful on stage. The crowd interaction was the most satisfying. I met people that had shirts from 2018, funny enough.
No way.
People were mouthing the lyrics. Like it just, I have a hard time processing that, but I saw it, so I know that it's true.
Yeah.
I just have to, I'm not really able to absorb like what that feels like as an artist.
Yeah.
So I just have to keep going.
Obviously you bring out these songs like with the people that you're closest to, your family, but then you're actually out playing live and people are actually singing back to you. I bet that's like a really weird like thing to get your head around.
Yeah, I mean, this entire year and a half, I've seen a song go from, a few 100,000 streams to 27 million, and all of these people are in Europe.
Yeah.
A lot of this fan base is now outside of the US. So to not see them in person, and that certainly affects your ability to understand that it's happening. Like these millions of people are listening. So it's just about trying to live with that imposter syndrome and be proud of the work that I'm putting into it. And also not define myself by those streams, because that is as much of a great thing that is, it's not really something that defines my artistry. I feel like the music is the same before releasing it as well as after, regardless of what the number is.
And it's very easy to like get sucked into that.
I was gonna say, like, as long as you're happy with it, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because people are out there and they're like listening. It's a tough one, because obviously there's numbers everywhere, like in this day and age. But it's good definitely to keep your head on straight and not too like caught up in things like that. Yeah. I
mean, I've seen thousands of comments on your YouTube channel from people that are like thankful that you've changed their lives. What does that feel like?
It doesn't really feel real. It's amazing, but like it's just hard for it to sink in.
It's just Alex and Beth like sat, in an office. It doesn't feel real when people say stuff like that, and it's just such an incredible feeling as well, isn't it?
So it's
just crazy, absolutely crazy.
It's amazing. I hope you can take that in every once in a while. But I totally agree with you. I know how hard that must be. It's all virtually.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know this is just the beginning for the two of you. I cannot look into the future, but I can say that it's pretty obvious how many listeners' lives are going to change, but also how many creatives' lives. I already have seen you create a platform for artists to feel like they can distribute their music through you and feel like they have a voice, and there are people out there that want to listen, and that's entirely because of the two of you. So I have a lot of respect for you right now.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, honestly, that means the world.
I would say like your music is almost like reading your diary. dietary. No,
So-
that's not right.
Start again.
I'm sorry.
Keep going.
Your dietary entry.
So when you have dietary needs, my music helps you.
Oh,
I
diary.
can't
Diary
eat gluten anymore, so it does help me a lot with my dietary entries.
I would almost say your music is like reading your diary entries. So it's like so personal, and you delve into like your own struggles and your own personal life. And like for us, it's like a really great therapy because we like listen to your lyrics and we hear your music, and it's almost like you think, oh my God, like someone's going through the same struggles. And like a lot of people can relate to what you like sing about because it is so personal. But I always wondered, like, do you ever struggle putting your feelings into lyrics because what you write about is literally your life?
Wow. I mean, that means a lot that you feel like you can relate to it. I would say that in the past has been my biggest insecurity is I have a song called What We Had, for example, that
Honestly,
that song,
one of the best songs ever made.
Hold
Just
Beth
putting it
down.
out there.
that's so kind of you to say because that was such a risk. I remember being told as a pop artist, you probably don't want to go that specific because when you do that, it then crosses into this area of selfishness where the listener cannot grab onto something and relate to it. And I felt at the time that would be doing a disservice to make the song more ambiguous. So I knew the verses had to be the exact story of things that have happened in the past with my father. And the chorus needed to be this more unifying section that just says what we had was a lie, but I wouldn't take it back. And I just feel like, in order to do this correctly, I don't know if I am, but in order to do this pop thing correctly, I need to be unapologetically myself. And there's no room to second guess the lyricism after writing it. Like it was, if it's me and it came out of me, I need to trust the process and release it and trust that hopefully, like you said, people will gravitate towards it. That's the scariest thing because it is so personal. But when something takes off and when something does well, it reminds me that I'm not alone. And I've felt alone for a majority of my childhood. So to be able to help others hopefully feel less alone, but also definitely help me feel less alone is an amazing mutually beneficial relationship I think I have with the people that are listening to my music. And I'm just so grateful it is that way.
I just always wanted to speak about that because I remember like listening to What We Had, and obviously it was so personal. And I watched it live. I think you did like a live stream, and I was like, oh my, like it's just out of this world. Like I'm not even just saying that because you're on here now. I always say about Dylan Dunlap. In the first podcast, I said about Dylan Dunlap.
In every podcast, I'll probably say about Dylan Dunlap.
I'm so thankful that you like it so much. I think that solo is like my favorite section of a song I've put out to date. Is that guitar synth solo where they double each other.
It's ridiculous.
Back in February, your manager Jay, shout out
Jay, great guy,
Cohen, invited us to your Live from a UFO performance, which we absolutely loved. It was so cool. If you're listening and you didn't see it, Dylan performed in Joshua Tree, California, like middle of the desert. Such a cool location.
Basically the dream location.
Basically, yeah. And he was in an alien spaceship.
I mean, yeah, technically.
E.T. running around with his finger and stuff. It was in space. It was insane. So yeah, how did like that come about? How did like the location, like how did you find that?
How did you guys find a UFO in action?
In the desert,
Where are the aliens? It's June 1st. They're about to announce stuff about aliens. How are you connected? I really love space and water and basically anything that can resemble silence. I remember as a kid, I loved just holding my breath underwater and just sitting there in a very therapeutic way. It's like the only way that will really cancel out all the noise. And with my mental health condition, that just really helps me. And obviously with space, everybody knows that when you're out there, it's like completely silent. And I think it's a really cool way to capture my needs mentally. And so with my graphic design, through Kirk, my guitar player, he wears many hats. Him and I have talked for so long about just wanting to visually represent the music in the best way possible. And then it came to a point where it was the EP release show, I think, the UFO concert. And just with all the songs and the graphic design of the EP, we found this spot online in Joshua Tree, like you said, that just perfectly accurately represented, how everybody felt like they weren't on this planet the last year. It felt like we were on a completely different planet and nobody could connect with each other. And so the boys and I, we just got a giant generator from Home Depot and brought it out into the desert and made a whole stage and just thought we would do the entire concert inside and outside of the UFO to help represent the EP.
Yeah, because we started watching it and we were like, oh, this is really cool. Like Dylan's inside a UFO. And then you walked outside and we were like, whoa, it is actually really, really cool. And you were wearing a silver, spacey vibey jacket. And I thought he's about to step on the moon. It's getting really serious.
You remember the
Shout out to, okay, so like I said, we're a big family, right? So Kirk designs all the graphic design. And the person that styled us that day was Ben, my drummer and producer, who's the other guy that was on camera, his fiance, Madeline. So,
oh, no way.
And the people that shot that concert were my childhood best friend, Tim, and his girlfriend, Kristen. So we all just went out there, and I think we celebrated my birthday too and had some tequila shots after we were all done. And it's just a big family project. I love it.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it sounds so fun.
And also, shout out Tim. Was it Tim that did the filming?
Tim has done basically everything visually that you'll see online, yeah.
Because the filming for that was absolutely out of this world, that's ridiculous.
A good pun there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
As well.
Yeah, he's a legend. I don't understand how I have him. I'm just such a fan of the people that I work with, and I think it's incredible. It's unbelievable.
That is so lovely, though, that you all get on so well. It could be a lot worse.
It wasn't always the case. I remember when I was 17, 18 years old, I took 1 year in Boston at Berklee College of Music, and I got this little independent record deal. And it was a horrible situation. Not only would they own all my masters, but they said, you have to play with this bass player. And on the road with this bass player, he threatened to kill Ben and me. And because of that, I had to fire him, and then they tried to sue me, and it was this crazy thing. And ever since 2016, I realized if I'm going to do business with people, I need to be as upfront, and I need to be as communicative and loving, and make sure that we all feel like it's a safe environment to create, to perform. And that's why I don't think that we have had issues, this core team, for this long, because we just love music so much, and we love each other so much. So it's important to cut out the toxicity from the past and grow. And it's just a very healthy situation now.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
As long as no one's trying to kill you, that's always a good thing, I guess.
It's always a bonus. That's crazy.
I'm happy to be here. I'll say that.
Yeah, we're happy. We're happy that you're here right now.
I just realized how crazy that sounds out loud.
That is crazy.
As an artist, I'm in a really interesting situation where I can fly out to you guys, play a gig near you. You won't question why it's just me. And then in the US, I could do a full band show and nobody will think twice. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is if anything bad goes down on the road, I do think it's my responsibility as the artist. If a bandmate does something stupid, or if there's any drama that happens, it's my full responsibility, because it's my name on the project, on the venue. And so that's why it matters so much to me to make sure that, it's a lovely and healthy environment, because I am essentially responsible for all of us on the road.
It feels like you don't really stop. We always see you and you're always doing something. And a couple of months ago, you actually released your EP called Soldier On. We've featured almost every song from it on the channel. And what we had, If That's All Right, Seriously. It's an absolute masterpiece, may I just say. It's an incredible EP. How was the creation process on that? And what has the reaction been since it was released?
First off, that's incredibly kind of you to. I mean, I know I've sent you messages and we've talked through your 1 million subscribers live stream, and but I mean, this is unheard of, and I hope you know that I'm probably going to be able to speak for a majority of the artists you've worked with, and just say that is rare that you would offer this much love and support. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like it through the internet. And I was an independent artist for years, and I sometimes mentally forget how much I've grown, and I still have those indie artist mentalities. And I just, it really means a lot to know that there are two people such as yourselves out there that care about the quality of the music in a day and age where quantity is definitely outweighing quality. You got 80,000 songs on Spotify a day. The fact that you care enough to curate such beautiful playlists, and you also think to put me on them, blows my mind. So I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes just raving about you. No, but the EP was great. You are correct. I don't stop. My manager doesn't stop. We both have this like unspoken understanding that this is the most important thing, and we will do whatever it takes to see it through. I'm sure you guys can notice online, you look at the A-list pop artists and they have the major labels with hundreds of people working for them. And what I do is basically I want it to feel like we have just so many people a part of this. But in reality, when you do the research, it's just a small group of, like I said, friends that are family.
Yeah.
And my manager and we just get the vision. We understand that this is really special and not talked about enough in the pop world. So this EP was just the beginning, and the next EP is done, and I'm in album mode, and it's like crazy because now I just have to take a break and let these releases roll out. On June 25th, I'm releasing my absolute favorite song. It's called Get More Rest, and I absolutely will send it your way.
Definitely.
Can't wait. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's no stopping. I have no intention of stopping. I am writing music that I don't even know when it can come out now. Honestly, I don't even know if I could confidently say the song I just wrote the other night in Arizona that I love more than any song in the world. I don't even know if that's going to come out next year.
Wow.
And so this is basically teaching me that I need to now exist and really put some effort into just being mindful of each release, because there are a lot of songs coming out this year that last year in 2020 I was so incredibly passionate about. So I almost want to honor that and be present for each one. Like this EP, that the 4-song Serotonin EP had just come out this last Friday, and I'm really excited for that. So it's just about, taking it one project at a time.
Yeah. Wow. I'm so excited to hear more.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
It's exciting to know you got so much coming up that you're all so excited about. That makes us excited as well.
Yeah, and genuinely, we just love you. You deserve every single success that comes your way.
I was going to say about featuring all the songs last year. We're lucky that we're totally independent like you. It's literally just us two. There's such a small team doing it that we can luckily feature just what we love. So we're not held back by we'll feature Dylan Dunlap 2 months ago. We can't feature him again until I don't know, whatever.
We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
If we want to feature Dylan Dunlap, we're featuring Dylan Dunlap. It's
done on what we love. So yeah. So don't release too many songs, otherwise you'll be on the channel all the time.
The channel is just going to be Dylan Dunlap Music. Dylan Dunlap Rainbird Music. That works.
We'll combine all three of our names. Absolutely. I have some bad news for you, Alex. There is a lot coming, and I'm so sorry.
No, we're excited.
It's the best. It's the best. Yeah, don't worry about it at all.
I think that it changes though over the summer. I've been able to get a little bit less serious, and I feel like I've created this brand for myself where I talk about really serious topics, but I almost treat it like a Trojan horse, where it's disguised as this upbeat pop production that can sit on a playlist with Coldplay or Maroon 5 or something like that. But lyrically, it's some serious shit. And I just feel like there has been a shift since writing Serotonin in September of 2020, where I just want people to have a good time as well. And there's a couple songs that come out this summer. One of them isn't about mental health, but it's more so about how we're just glued to our screens. And it's like the most fun, upbeat pop rock song I think that I'll have put out by that point. But it talks about just like, I don't want a filter that I can see you through. I just want to talk to you. And I think that I've realized that I have more freedom than I thought to sing about more topics. And I definitely explore that this year. And I'm really excited to see what can come out of these next few ones.
Oh, I'm so excited. Don't get me started.
I'm spoiling way too much, but it's fine. I don't care.
Okay.
No, I love it.
Yes, you mentioned Serotonin a bit. So you released that a few weeks ago, and to be honest, it's already one of our favourites, isn't it? Like, it went up there pretty quickly. So while on the topic of that, do you want to tell us a bit about the writing process last September and what that one means to you specifically?
Yeah, I co-wrote that with my friend Matt Romagna, and it all started, I think at the time I was spending a few days at my girlfriend's house. We were like taking turns during the pandemic, trying to keep each other company in both of our different apartments. And I always start with a chord progression with no lyrics, and that inspires me to come up with a phrase or a quote. And I just remember going into my phone, like that, the syncopation, thinking it was like cool and hip and people would do this. And, but it's such a depressing thing to say. And I think that was the whole point, is how to normalize depression. Well, if I make this the saddest song in the world because I'm talking about the saddest thing in the world, it will be labeled as like a depression song, and it's a sad ballad or something. And I just refuse to set a ceiling for myself. So I really liked the idea of making something that was just like, you do this at the concert. I guess on the podcast they can't.
No, he was moving his head like a sort of funky way. Yeah, if you want to describe what was going on,
like a stank face. Yeah,
that's the one.
It started with that idea, and then the rhymes. Like, it always starts with a chorus. I feel like I'm no good at controlling my self-esteem. Can't help if I'm feeling hopeless. Like, but saying these things in such a disguised, like a happy production. Again, I think that will help people feel like it's okay to have depression, more than a song that's just piano and singing like I have depression. Like, there's something cooler about normalizing it in this way, where there's nothing wrong with you. And that's the only reason I'm doing music, is to send that message that there's nothing wrong with me, and as well as the listener. And I think that Serotonin was the first time I finally found the words in a mainstream way to make it make sense and also potentially sit well on the radio. And I just remember in September thinking to myself, like, this is the most important, this is the best. I hyperbolize a lot, so I got really excited for no reason. And I was just like, there's nothing like it. And now, what is it, June? And I really think that Serotonin is just the beginning. And it's crazy to me that the rest of the world has absolutely no idea the amount of hard work my friends and I have put into this. But I know the impact that it can have. I know that starting that showcase, Serotonin Sunday, was a great idea to try and actually put actions instead of just like speaking about being a mental health advocate. Like, I wanted to do what an advocate would do, and I'm so thankful to bring people together every week now. But using that song as the opportunity to start the showcase, I'm just really thankful for that.
Well, that actually leads us perfectly on to something that I was going to speak about. As you said, you're a huge advocate for mental health, which is just so incredible and important, and how open you are. And as I said previously in the podcast, you've helped us probably in more ways than you could ever imagine with your music. And I truly mean that. Like, you've really helped me in a lot of ways. And you spoke about Serotonin Sundays, which we thought was really a really cool idea. And when we saw it on Instagram, we just thought it was amazing. But I just wanted, could you just explain it a little bit more, just for the people listening that might not know kind of what it actually is?
Absolutely. So like this, Clubhouse, the app, is very much like a live podcast, although there's no camera. So it's just audio. And I've gotten to know the app through a couple different friends that were doing different events on there. And I don't know. I think the pandemic made me lose my mind a bit and forget that I used to host an open mic in Los Angeles when I was younger, and I used to bring people together and challenge my own social anxieties by doing that. And I didn't have that anymore. I had to stop hosting the open mic when I started pursuing music full time. And something just clicked. I mean, the pandemic made us all go insane. And currently, a lot of people still feel like we're losing our minds. And I just wanted to, again, just do instead of keep speaking online about doing. I'd rather just put in the work. And so I started this showcase. It's on the app Clubhouse. I feature 5 artists every single week, Sunday at 6 p.m. PST, to play a song and then talk about what mental health means to them. And it's very open-ended. There's no like restrictions on you have to have a mental health condition to play the showcase. On the forum online, there's 3 options between if you live with a mental health condition, if you know somebody that lives with one, or if you just want to learn more. And so it's a very safe space, a very stigma-free environment where I just want to give people the platform to speak on things that they've otherwise felt like they weren't allowed to on stage. As you guys know, when you go to concerts, it's a job. You know, you go on stage, you're an entertainer. You can segue into songs. You could talk about things that matter to you, but this 2-hour showcase every Sunday, like that cannot happen on a stage with live music. So I love it because it's just one song each. And then you can tell me about whatever mental health condition that you've lived with, whatever you don't know that you want to ask questions about, because every Sunday I also feature a mental health organization. So it's 5 artists and 1 organization each week. And that's like a promise. It's been 10 weeks now, and I think I'm going to try and do 52 straight. And just to be able to, for me to ask questions to somebody who's an actual expert in that field, I think that sets me apart, because I know that when you advocate for mental health so much as an artist, people kind of think you have it all figured out. They think you have the answers. It kind of turns into thinking of this person as an expert, and that's false. That is a huge false assumption, and I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And I think it's important to just let the people speak that actually do know and have spent decades studying medicine and therapy and you know, like people that are actually educated in that field. So I'm happy to use my music to then kind of take the spotlight off me and give it to the people that can actually spread wisdom and tips about self-care and all of that. So anybody's welcome. It's every Sunday night until I physically can't do it anymore.
That is absolutely incredible. So is that like a thing that you can like sit in and listen to, or is it only the artist can be on there?
I'm going to, in real time, send you guys an invite link.
Okay.
Let's
work out so 6 p.m. for you is going to be like, we're going to be asleep usually. We'll have to stay up every Sunday.
Stay awake.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to join, it's free. You just hop on and you can listen in. Yeah, it's very easy. Yeah, the link and all the information is on serotoninsunday.com, or just the social media handle Serotonin Sunday. It's fairly easy. You just have to download the app and, you know, log in. And yeah, it's a fun time.
Give people a platform they wouldn't otherwise have to speak about this stuff, sort of thing. Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. It's like a brand new thing. I've never seen anyone do anything like that.
Not
like a musician.
Combining it with music,
I just hope it can help people feel like they have people that want to listen to them sing, and also, more importantly, speak. Because I think that it's easy to define ourselves as just one thing. I struggle all the time with thinking that I'm more than just an artist. which I am. I'm way more than an artist. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an advocate for all these things, but it's easy to define yourself as one thing, especially during a pandemic. So if I can help others in this time feel like, I want to hear you sing, but more importantly, I just want to hear you talk about what you're passionate about, whatever that is. That's the point of Serotonin Sunday, really.
Earlier, you said about Europe specifically, because we looked yesterday, we're having a stalk on Spotify, and we saw that a lot of your listeners were from Amsterdam, Paris, and places like that. Have you thought about, are you planning some sort of UK, EU tour? And also, have you visited before?
Yes and yes.
Nice.
I self-booked. This is before I also signed with a booking agency last year during the pandemic. But in 2019, I was independent as an artist as well as on booking. And so I just self-booked a whole tour. I bought a plane ticket first to London with 0 shows. And it was like 10 days. The most terrifying thing an artist could do. I just did. And I blew the money on the plane tickets. And then that gave me incentive to book a show every single night. And like you said, I don't really stop. And that's true. I don't. So
yeah.
I didn't stop until every night had a show. And I did 9 or 10 shows in a row. And this was December 2019. If That's All Right just came out. So I was able to celebrate a little bit. And that was it. And God, I want to come back. So I would say anybody in the Europe area, I will definitely be out there at the top of next year. And I'm really excited. And we're going to try and time it with the release of the next EP. So it's going to be a really great way to celebrate.
Well, as soon as you touch down
we'll
in London, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the airport?
We'll be at the airport with a little sign.
We'll take your suitcases and help you out all the way. Yeah.
You've always stated that your music is to help your younger self. So my question was, if younger Dylan was sat here right now with us, what would you tell him or anyone else facing similar struggles to you?
Man, you guys have some great questions here. I think,
we go quite deep with the questions.
I think that I would say that how you feel right now is more than okay, and I understand you. I feel like a lot of times when I hear people I look up to talk about stuff like this, it's typically along the lines of look at me where I'm at now. It gets better. Promise, stay with it. But I don't know. I think I've changed my mind on how I would talk to my younger self. I think that my 14-year-old depressed, anxious, all of the above self would have really appreciated to hear from somebody that how you feel is actually fine. It's okay because it's how you feel. I don't want to get rid of that. How you are and feel and your brain chemistry right now at this very moment is more than enough. And it's okay that you're struggling. And a lot of this is going to continue, but because you push through and because you persevere, the reward is so much greater than the struggle. And I want to find a way to even convince my 25-year-old self now that it's okay that I'm going to struggle. It's a weird thing to say out loud that you're predicting something bad, but that's the thing right there is I don't think it's bad. I'm on the spectrum personally. That's my condition, and it's one of many that other people are on as well. And I just think that the problem is that we hold such a negative connotation about these things in our head. We're scared of disorders and we judge people with disorders and I just think that we need to normalize that it's just a trait. You guys both have different kinds of brown hair. Beth, I can't tell if it's brown or red. I think it's red.
Yeah, it's like brownie red.
In the sun, it's more right, yeah.
So Alex, you have brown hair. Beth, you have brown/red hair. I have brown hair. I have blue eyes. I'm on the spectrum. If you notice that I'm just talking about these things, it's not a big deal. And I think that is what I would have appreciated as a 14-year-old. So that's why in my bio, as long as I'm alive, that will be the description there that I'm making music. Strictly for myself, because I don't think I had somebody like me saying that to me.
Yeah.
And I just know the impact that can have on a young male if anything, really. It's a young boy that's like struggling with toxic masculinity and being told that you shouldn't cry and that's a sign of weakness and all of this stuff. Like, I want to be a safe space, even if it's for 3 or 4 minutes. I just want to give you a nice little distraction in your day.
And you really are.
Yeah.
You help a lot of people.
Well, you're definitely doing that. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our community was so excited that you were coming on today, and they had a number of questions and a lot of kind words for you. So do you want to start with the viewers' questions?
Of course. So Pisockley on Instagram simply said, you got merch.
Yes, I think on my page there's a button, a highlight on Instagram to click merch, and there are 2 different t-shirts available. There's a gray shirt with my logo, the 2 Ds, and then there's a more limited edition navy blue with my full name in like the left-hand corner. I also have pop sockets for the phone, and I also have dad hats. I don't know, in the US we just have no respect for ourselves, so it's called dad hats.
Dad hats.
I've never heard that before, but that's cool. That's cool.
I figured as much. We come up with pretty ridiculous things.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of merch, and I'm sure next year, with this next EP dropping and leading into it, we will have way more options as well. So, great question.
Yeah. Laylee Lou 1403 on Instagram and Julia from Discord kind of had a similar question. They said, where do you get your inspiration from? Are there any artists that inspire you? / who are your favorite artists and bands?
That's great. Okay, I'm gonna answer those opposite. I'm gonna swap them. I love is an understatement. I have a spiritual connection to Chris Martin.
Thought so.
I can't explain it. It's like one of those things where when I was younger and I heard The Scientist, 2nd or 3rd grade, it's not even that I like their music. It's that I've never seen somebody else play the piano the way I do. If you notice, it's not really to sheet music. Like Chris Martin adds these inflections and it's a lot of improvisation and like exploding his heart out by just playing. And I've just never connected more with somebody. So I would have to say I have the utmost respect for those 4 band members to be in the industry 20 plus years, to constantly be on the radio and to have no drama between bandmates. It's like the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. But I will say, that being said, to answer the first question, thank you both of the Instagram and Discord people. I don't have inspiration when it comes to creating my music because I've been in a lot of sessions, and there's nothing wrong with this, where if you're trying to write a pop record to pitch to somebody, or even just for me, a lot of people like to use references, and you could bring up anybody in any session. I think that's more than fine, but there's something cool about the way I write is it's just a very narrow mindset to be in, where I'm only focused on making the best possible song I can, inspired by nothing but whatever it is that I'm going through. There's no music inspiring the situation. There's no overthinking. If that's all right, it's very indie folk and that did well, so maybe I should replicate that and do it again. And a lot of people are inspired by their past successes, right? I have zero inspiration when it comes to creating. I just want to be unapologetically myself, and I trust my producer Ben to help. Like Kirk and I are more of the indie folk background, very much the music that you guys listen to primarily, and then Ben, my producer, along the way has really helped curate it to turn into a well crafted pop record, and we know what we want. I don't think that I ever need to message Ben and say, this song, I want this. I want it to sound like this. Like it just ends up hopefully sounding unique and like nothing else. That is obviously the goal.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, we hear obviously like a lot of music every day, but you especially, you just sound like Dylan Dunlap. It sounds like a stupid thing to say, but like
Yeah.
we hear so many songs that like they put we're inspired by the Lumineers or Monsters and Men or Coldplay or whatever, John Mayer,
And as you said, there's nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with that at
But-
all. But then like it sounds, you can tell. Do you know what I mean? That they've like sort of riffed on that a little bit, but I think a lot of your, I'm just guessing, but I think a lot of your success is just down to like your attitude, and you want it to sound like you, and
just being
it does. Yeah. So, yeah.
I appreciate that. It's hard to be confident that, like, I can only hope that that's the case, right? So I'm thankful that you feel that way, because that is the goal, is to hopefully not sound exactly like somebody else, and what does that mean to even create your own sound? And to be honest with you, I think that that's just time. Time will always show that. I know a lot of singer-songwriters, including my younger self, that they want to sound so much like something that they love or that they're inspired by, that they don't leave room to even give themselves the opportunity to create something new. And time and time again, we look at these sensations that come out, where did that come from? Global smash hits. And it's from people that just did something different and weird. And I really love that every year there's like a couple artists that really just stand out, that you can tell they just, it's the most original thing you've ever heard, you know?
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
And also, like, great shout on Coldplay.
Oh yeah, we
How
love Coldplay.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's different though. It's not even like liking their music. It's just who they are in the world is so inspiring to me. We could do a whole different episode about their impact.
Just Coldplay. Just
Coldplay
our love for
appreciation.
Coldplay.
Yeah, so Hong from Discord is a big fan of yours, and he had a few questions. So maybe we've already covered this, but what do you consider your masterpiece that you've released right now? What's your favorite song that's currently out that people can listen to right now?
I think the acoustic live version of Serotonin
it's so good.
Just the making of it. We didn't plan on recording it. We were at this Airbnb in the woods, and there's a video to accompany it, which I think I might have shown you guys.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We're just getting obliterated by mosquitoes. Like they are eating us alive. And Tim plants the camera down, and Kirk and Ben are sitting with their acoustics. It's called figure eight, where like you face the mic this way, two people, and then there's me in front of it with like a talk show host mic. And I cannot believe it sounded that good. And the song starts with like you hearing the crickets and the nature. And my managers were telling me that when I sang the falsetto in the chorus, like it reverberated through the trees. And it's like the most magical memory that we were able to make, to like try and just stay in character and not swat at the mosquito that was literally drinking my blood while I was performing. And that comes out obviously this week. So I think that that's my favorite collaborative recording that it wasn't even supposed to happen. But after that, to answer the question probably more accurately, I will say Get More Rest, which is in June, is to me even a more mature opportunity to dive deep the way Serotonin does. I'm just very proud of that. So that, yes, I feel many things about that song.
So get ready, Hong. It's coming in June.
June 25th, yes.
He also asked, which we've kind of covered, but how did you start music? But we've kind of gone for that one. Yeah. But he also said, this isn't a question, more of an appreciation note. Your music really helps me to cope with stress brought on by school, COVID, and society as a whole. I listen to your music basically 24/7, and I found some peace in the madness of my world. So thanks so much, and keep up the great work.
Wow. That's thank you so much. I'm so happy to help. The world is very loud, so if I can help make it a little less loud for somebody, that's all that I'm doing this for. So thank you.
Well done, Hong.
Well done, Hong.
Well done, Hong.
Actually, on a similar note, Chicago from Discord.
We can't deal with these emotional messages.
No, yeah, get ready,
we?
everyone. They said they're really looking forward to hearing this episode, in particular with Dylan. They also want to know your favourite song, which we spoke about. And they specifically wanted to thank you for making If That's All Right, because that song really helped them to remember it's okay to enjoy some alone time. So yeah, that's Chicago from Discord, just sharing that for you.
Wow. That's really sweet. It's a daily practice, so I'm learning right alongside. Well, Chicago, thank you. And I'm excited to practice it alongside you. Self-care and falling in love with yourself. I think that song was a Polaroid. It was a moment in time, and it sounds very confident. And I'm excited to practice that more, because it's easy to assume that I just know how to practice self-care, but I really don't sometimes. So I look forward to learning right alongside you, Chicago.
And
Perfect.
Chicago, check out Serotonin Sunday.
Yeah. Shout out.
Plug.
That's all our questions from the community, but we just wanted to know, I know we've kind of spoken about this as well, but what's next for you in the future? You
can look forward to, and I'm probably getting this wrong, and I apologize in advance. Please fact check me, somebody that works with me.
We'll get an email from Jay, like,
Angry
please
email.
edit that out.
just typing mad. I want to say, like, every 7 weeks I'm putting a song out. I really do think we did the math the other day, and obviously I already spoiled the June date, but yeah, there's no intentions of stopping, which is something we've said many times. I just I'm working on the wave after the wave after the wave, so I'm really excited for the amount of songs and the project that it is turning into. I think the label's very happy. I think that it's just a really nice combination of everyone's favorite songs. It's a big democratic way of choosing music on my end. It's not just me, my way or the highway. Like, I make sure that every person that works with me can tell me their top 5, top 6. And it's just funny that we all agree. So the music that's coming out is not just my choice, but it's everybody's collective decision that this is the best one. Then we followed up with this. I just think that it's going to make all of us feel very satisfied because everyone played a part in it.
Yeah. So get ready, everyone. There's a lot more
great
Dylan
stuff
Dunlap
on the
to
way.
hear.
Okay, so that is actually everything we've got down. So is there anything else before we go that you wanted to say or add at the end?
Just to you guys, if there's anything I can do on my end here in Los Angeles to spread the word, not about this podcast, but this podcast too, like anything that you two are passionate about that you're focusing on. I just have a feeling about the two of you that no matter what you do, it's going to turn into something really great. And I think you've seen that come to fruition. It's not just a YouTube channel anymore. It's a community. It's the best example of like what people want. They just want to be a part of something, and the two of you are doing that actively. So if there's anything I can do to, I don't know, spread the word or help in any way, shape, or form, just, the door's always open. That's all I would really want to say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Really appreciate you.
We do.
Amazing. Okay, so this is Dylan Dunlap's new single, out now, perform live. This is Serotonin. We hope you enjoy.
Thanks so much for having me today. This is Serotonin. 25 candles, not sure how much more I can handle. Up in my castle, another year, another battle. No, I don't want you to find me. Right now it's easier to hide the key. Sorry I canceled. This isn't about you.
I'm low on serotonin. I'm no good at controlling my self-esteem. Can't help it if I'm feeling hopeless. If I can't smell the roses in front of me, I bet you're thinking I'm so typical. But you can't see the chemicals. Don't treat me like I'm broken. I'm just low on serotonin. Me and my problems, we got used to hitting rock bottom. Something in the water keeps pulling me under. No, I don't want you to find me. Right now I need a little time to breathe. I know I should have called you. It's not that I didn't want to. I'm low on serotonin. I'm no good at controlling my self-esteem. Can't help it if I'm feeling hopeless. If I can't smell the roses in front of me, I bet you're thinking I'm so typical. But you can't see the chemicals. Don't treat me like I'm broken. I'm just low on serotonin. But you can't see the chemicals. Don't treat me like I'm broken. I'm just low on serotonin. I'm low on serotonin. I'm no good at controlling my self-esteem. Can't help it if I'm feeling hopeless. If I can't smell the roses in front of me, I bet you're thinking I'm so typical. But you can't see the chemicals. Don't treat me like I'm broken. I'm just low on serotonin.
Thanks so much for joining us, Dylan. Honestly, it's been so amazing to speak to you today. We love you, and for the people that want to see more of you, where can they find you? Shout out your socials.
I'll just search Dylan Dunlap, DYLAN DUNLAP, and on social media it's just I am Dylan Dunlap. I'd love to say hi. Yeah.
So thanks so much for listening, and for watching on Patreon. Once again, we're waving to you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll wave in. Don't forget also to subscribe to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you're listening to this on. And yeah.
And another episode with an independent artist will be coming very, very soon. But thanks so much again, Dylan. And thanks for listening, everyone. And see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Alex.
Bye.